After helping my girlfriend move into a place she couldn't afford without me, she turned to her friends while I was installing her air conditioner in 95-degree heat and said loud enough for me to hear, "He's not doing it out of love. He's doing it because he's scared no one else would ever want him. Pathetic little man." They all laughed while I stood there, soaked in sweat, drilling into the wall. When I finished, she didn't even say thanks, just looked at me with disgust and snapped, "You're useful when you shut up. Now go fix the shelves. You F asterisk C caked up, and try not to screw it like you did our anniversary." I just laughed her and left. That night, I did something bigger that ruined everything. Yesterday, she showed up at my job, hair a mess, eyes red, screaming in the parking lot like a mad woman, saying I was ruining her life. Okay, so I'm typing this at like 2:30 a.m. because I'm still pissed, can't sleep, and honestly, I kind of want to see if anyone else has had this kind of thing happen. If you're here for a happy ending or like growth or whatever, just back out now, FR. Because I'm not zen about this at all, and I don't plan to be. I want her to feel it. So background. I'm Jensen, 29, no job titles or whatever, but I got decent hands-on skills from years of just fixing stuff for myself when I couldn't afford to pay people. Anyway, a while back I was selling my old window AC on Marketplace. Rebecca hits me up, comes by. Turns out she actually wants help figuring out her place's garbage air situation. She's got more plants than sanity, I swear, and this tiny apartment that's way above what a normal person would pay for a glorified closet in this city. We hit it off, because she laughed at my joke about her dying succulents. They looked like they'd been through a war. She asked for a hand with a shelf, one thing leads to another. We start hanging out, then dating. Then I'm spending half my weeks at her place. Fast forward like 4 months. She's obsessed with this new spot that's even more expensive, wants the big girl apartment, says it'll be easy with my help. She'll get a roommate for the second bedroom, but TBH after 2 weeks of touring, I figured I was the real backup plan. She's got some rich friends, but they're all living with their parents, and she wants to flex on them, show she's independent or whatever. I'm not stupid. I saw the signs. She's got a lease offer, but can't swing it solo. Asks if I'll co-sign, just for the paperwork, babe. It's not a big deal. I said only if I'm living there too, and she's like, duh, obviously. So we move in. Well, mostly me moving boxes while she's taking selfies for Be Real or whatever, showing off her view, which is just like a brick wall and a parking lot. But whatever. Her friends come to help, but basically just sit around eating the pizza I paid for and talking about how grown up the place is. I'm sweating through my shirt, carrying her IKEA crap up 3 flights because the elevator's out. So here's where it gets weird. Her friend Danielle makes this comment about how some guys just really like to be needed, and Rebecca laughs a little too hard. I just brush it off because I figure, whatever, I'm the only one actually doing anything. But then it keeps happening. Little digs like, oh, Jensen can probably fix it. He's good for that at least. And he's so patient I'd have died by now. And I'm starting to feel more like a maintenance guy than a boyfriend. The day it all blew up, it was pushing 95 outside. Legit felt hotter inside. Rebecca's got this new AC she begged me to install because the landlord said no drilling, but she says everyone does it and won't take no for an answer. So I'm in her bedroom, which had 2 fans, both pointed at her plants, not even her, WYTF, covered in sweat trying to line up the bracket. She's in the living room with her friends, Danielle, Phyllis, and Teresa, watching some TikTok challenge and arguing about who's the hottest mess. I can hear them through the open door. Then, loud enough for me to hear, Rebecca goes, "He's not doing it because he loves me. He's doing it because he's scared no one else would ever want him." Pathetic little man, Danielle laughs. Phyllis actually snorts. And Teresa says something like, wow, brutal. But she's grinning too. I stop drilling, just standing there with sweat running down my back, holding a screwdriver like an idiot. They don't even pretend to whisper. Rebecca keeps going, says I'm useful when I shut up, and tells her friends to just wait. She'll get me to fix the shelves I fucked up last week, and maybe I'll manage not to screw it up like I did our Anna. So yeah, I finished the install, didn't say a word, put her dumb plant shelf back exactly how it was, tight as I could, walked out into the living room. Nobody looks up from their phones. I stood there for a sec, watched Rebecca scroll, her friends giggling. I said, hey, I'm done. And she just looked up, rolled her eyes, and says, good. Now go fix the shelves you fucked up, and next time don't mess up my anniversary. Like, not even a thanks. So I laughed. Not even a fake laugh, just like one of those you gotta be kidding me laughs. Danielle makes a face like I'm crazy, Teresa says. Ooh, he's mad. And Rebecca just shrugs, doesn't even look at me. So I grabbed my bag, slammed the door behind me on my way out. She texted me not even 10 minutes later, just question marks. Then, where are you, like nothing happened? I didn't answer. She called. I let it ring. Later, she posted some passive-aggressive story about men who can't handle a strong woman with a crying emoji, then deleted it. I didn't even care. I went home, tossed my shirt in the hamper, and just sat on my couch with my phone buzzing. I was mad, Ariel. Not even sad, just mad. Like, I spent months doing everything for her, giving up my time, my money, my credit. And she never respected any of it. Just wanted me around to fix her shit and pay for her stuff and make her look good for her friends. I started thinking about all the stuff she wouldn't have if it wasn't for me. AC, shelves, her lease, her internet, half the damn kitchen, even the security deposit. All of it. Me. I called my dad. Told him what happened. He said, "Don't let people use you, son. Don't let them think they can get away with it." I said, "Yeah, I know. So here's the thing. I'm not the kind of guy who just sits around getting laughed at. She wants to treat me like I'm just her handyman. Fine. But she's about to find out what it actually feels like when someone she thinks is pathetic stops being useful. I already started making moves tonight. Gonna keep it legal. But I'm not letting this slide. She's gonna wish she'd kept her mouth shut. And before anyone says it, yeah, I know I put myself in this situation, but I'm not letting her walk all over me again. She wants to play games? She'll learn real quick who needs who. If you've ever had someone do you dirty like this, more updates coming soon. It's about to get real. Update 1. So, appreciate everyone who commented on my last post, or just read it, IDC. I needed to vent. I did not expect how many people have been through similar. It's kind of wild. Anyway, here's part 2. NGGL. I'm still mad, and I'm not going to pretend I'm above being petty. I warned y'all this wasn't a healing arc. First weird thing. The morning after I walked out, I wake up to a wall of texts from Rebecca. Not sorry, not even a hint of, hey, maybe I went too far. She just wanted to know if I was coming back to fix her broken Wi-Fi and bring her the box of kitchen stuff she left at my place. She's got this way of acting like nothing happened. Like if she ignores it, it'll just go away. I get one from Danielle too, asking if I can help her move a couch next weekend. I left them all on red. My phone's buzzing nonstop. I mute everything. I'm debating if I should block her, but TBH, I'm not done yet, and I kinda want to see what she tries next. I go to the gym, try to clear my head, still stewing. On the way home, I see her friend Phyllis in the parking lot at the grocery store, and she acts all awkward. Then says Rebecca's stressed, and maybe you should just apologize. It's not that deep. I just laughed and kept walking. So here's the thing you gotta know. Rebecca's whole independent woman thing is, barely holding together. She moved into that apartment because she wanted to prove to her friends she was on their level. But she's always talking about how broke she is, how her parents won't bail her out anymore, and how she just needs a win. She's got this chip on her shoulder about being the only one not living at home or getting money from their family, and she covers it by acting like she's better than everyone, especially me. I think deep down she treats me like crap because she's insecure, and it's easier to punch down than admit she needs help. Not an excuse, just how it is. But I'm not her emotional punching bag or her wallet. Night after the blow-up, I'm sitting at my kitchen table looking at all the stuff I did for her. I paid the deposit. I put my name on the lease because her credit was trash. She said it was just a number, not who she is. I set up the internet. I'm paying the bill because she forgot to transfer it. I bought the damn AC she swore she'd Venmo me, still hasn't. Even the fridge is half mine because hers was empty when she moved in. So I start thinking, what happens if I just stop helping? First move, I log into the Wi-Fi account and change the password. Not petty, just why should I pay for her to post TikToks about how strong she is? I send her the new bill, say she can Venmo me or get her own account. She blows up my phone, says she can't live without internet. She needs it for work. She does gig stuff and online surveys. It's not that serious. I tell her it's not my problem, and if she doesn't pay by the end of the week, I'll cancel it altogether. Then I text the landlord. Not gonna lie, I was nervous about this, but I just told the truth. I'm moving out. I'm not paying past this month, remove me from the lease. She's the only one left on it and her income alone doesn't meet the requirements. Landlord says, fine, but the rent goes up to the market rate unless she finds a new co-signer or roommate. I say that's on her. I get a string of furious messages from her, then one from Teresa calling me a child and saying I'm ruining everything for no reason. I'm just done. I snap back, tell them I'm not their handyman, I'm not a bank, and I'm definitely not here to be anyone's doormat. Later that night, she shows up at my door, doesn't even knock, just bangs until I open. She starts yelling, says I can't just abandon her, that I promised to help. I tell her, you made it clear what you think of me, and I'm not sticking around to be insulted in my own relationship. She pushes past me into my place, starts throwing stuff from my counter, grabs her stupid mug from my dish rack. I tell her to chill, but she slaps my hand when I try to take the mug back. I let her storm around for a minute, then I tell her she needs to go. She slams the door so hard my keys fall off the hook. I call my dad, tell him what happened. He just sighs and says, "Some people only learn the hard way." He's right. The next day, she's blowing up our group chat trying to spin it so I'm the villain, says I'm financially abusing her, that I set her up to fail. Danielle and Phyllis are eating it up at first, but then I just drop a screenshot of the lease and my payment receipts. I say, I'm not paying a dime more and she can figure her own stuff out. She tries to get me to come back and fix things, says she'll talk to the landlord, maybe we can renegotiate. I say, nah, I'm good. She calls me a selfish asshole and says I'll regret it. Now, I know some of you are going to say I'm being harsh, but she made her bed. She doesn't respect me, just what I can do for her. Not anymore. One last thing. I get a Venmo request from her for the broken shelf she says I ruined. She wants $30 for damages. I just screenshot it and send it back to the group chat with a note that says, "You break it, you buy it," right? Danielle leaves the group. Phyllis hasn't said a word since. I get the feeling this isn't over. She's not the type to just take the L quietly. She's gonna try something, I can feel it. But I'm not worried. I'm not scared. She's about to find out what happens when you decide the guy fixing your life is disposable. And if she wants to play games, I can play harder. Updates soon. Update 2. NGL. I wasn't even gonna post again, but the last 48 hours are actually insane, so here goes. This is the part where stuff got way messier than I even figured it would. And not in any movie way, just real, dumb public drama. First sign something was off was when a mutual friend, not even in the main group, just this guy Julian, who sometimes comes to board game night, texts me out of nowhere. He's like, "Hey man, are you good? Rebecca says you're financially abusing her and basically left her homeless." I'm not even mad, just tired at this point. So I send him the screenshot of the lease and my Venmo history showing I paid literally everything. He doesn't even reply for a while, then just sends back, "Damn, that's rough." Because I already knew Rebecca wasn't going to take the L quietly, but I kinda underestimated how far she'd go. She starts posting stories everywhere, tagging me, tagging my friends, all this stuff about how men are trash and how she had to do everything herself, and how apparently I stole. She even goes as far as posting a photo of the AC in the window, saying, "Some people can't even do the basics right," and I'm like, "Girl, you begged me for that AC and didn't pay me back." Whatever. I guess what actually got to me was her trying to warn other people, not just mutual friends, but anyone who followed us both. She starts messaging people I hardly even talk to, including this girl I dated for like a month last year, telling them I'm dangerous, manipulative, and unreliable. She says I ghosted her and left her with all the bills. I get a DM from Phyllis, who I thought was just a bystander in all this, basically demanding I take responsibility and at least help her find a new roommate. I just reply, "Not my problem," and leave it at that. Then I get a text from my dad. He asks if everything's okay because someone messaged him on Facebook. No lie. Rebecca messaged my dad, trying to get him to talk sense into me. He's just confused and annoyed, says he blocked her, but still, like who does that? I tell him to just ignore her, and he says, "Hope you're not getting yourself in legal trouble." I'm not, but it's wild she's even trying. So I guess here's where it gets more public. She starts telling people she's gonna take me to court for emotional damages, and that she's talking to a lawyer. IDK if she really is, but I know she doesn't have the money for that and she's bluffing, hoping I'll cave. She also tries to get into our old group chat and starts harassing Danielle and Teresa to get on her side. But Danielle actually messages me separately and says she's over it. She's tired of Rebecca's drama, and Phyllis is apparently taking a break from the group because it's too much. So now Rebecca's running out of people to yell at, and I guess she's mad about that too. On top of all that, she starts missing payments. I get a call from the landlord saying rent is overdue, and if it's not sorted by next week, they're going to start formal notices. I just tell him again, I'm not on the lease anymore and not paying anything. That's on Rebecca. Landlord is pissed, but not at me. Then I get a weird email. Her new job, or like job interview, I guess, is asking me for a reference. Turns out she put me down as a character reference because I know her best. Never asked me, just assumed I'd play along. I just reply honestly, nothing mean. Just that I'm not comfortable recommending her, and I don't think she's responsible with commitment. I don't know if that cost her the job or not, but she texts me like 10 minutes later in all caps. "Thanks for nothing." I don't respond. So now the group chat is dead, her friends are bailing, and she's basically spiraling. I keep getting weird DMs from people I barely know. Some saying she's crying on live about how I ruined her life, others asking if I'm okay. I just mute everything and go to my dad's for dinner because I'm honestly sick of the drama. He grills burgers. We don't even talk about it. But yesterday when I go to get groceries, I run into Teresa outside the store. She kind of gives me this awkward wave and says, "You know, none of this would have happened if you just let her have her way." I say, "Yeah, That's the whole problem, though. She shrugs and says Rebecca's always had this thing about losing face and hates when people make her look bad. I guess that's really it. She went nuclear because she couldn't control the story. She needed me to be the bad guy so she wouldn't have to admit she blew up her own life. Last thing, my phone's blowing up all week. I'm getting random calls from numbers I don't know. And then today, I hear from Julian again that Rebecca is telling everyone she's going to show up at my job and make me pay. I just laugh because, at this point, I'm honestly not surprised by anything. I tell him, let her try. So, I guess I could have just blocked her, but I wanted her to see what happens when the person you push around finally stands up for himself. It's not even about revenge anymore. It's just not letting her write the narrative. I don't care if people believe me or not. I know what happened, and so do the people who matter. She says I ruined her life. I say she did that herself. But apparently, that's not the end, because I heard she's planning something for tomorrow. Can't wait to see what her next move is. I'll update if it gets any crazier. Stay tuned. Final update. So yeah, here's part 4. And if you thought she was gonna go quietly, you haven't met Rebecca. I thought it was done after she nuked all her social stuff and tried to drag my name through every group chat in the city, but I guess some people just need an audience. If this gets deleted, it's not because I chickened out, it's because I'm honestly done with the whole mess. It started kind of boring, Angel. After the whole public meltdown online thing, I just stopped caring, muted everything, even deleted Instagram for a bit just to not see her name pop up. My dad called a couple times to see if I wanted to come over for dinner, and I actually went so I could get away from my phone. He asked if she was still at it. I said only when someone's watching, and he just shook his head. So Thursday rolls around, normal day. I'm just dealing with my own stuff. I get this text from Julian that just says, hey, heads up, and then nothing else. I thought maybe something happened to his car again or whatever, but then I check my phone and see 3 missed calls from an unknown number. Kinda weird, but whatever. I'm not calling back random numbers anymore, not after last week. Then, right around lunch, I'm outside grabbing food and I see a car pull up way too fast. Parks crooked across 2 spots. It's Rebecca, and she looks rough. Hair all tangled, face red, wearing this old hoodie I haven't seen since last year. She jumps out, slams the door, and starts yelling before she's even halfway across the lot. The kind of yelling you hear before a fight video goes viral, except this is real, not funny. She's like, you ruined my life, you're a coward. You're gonna pay for everything you did. I barely even react, I just stand there with my sandwich, people staring. She's waving her phone around, says she's got proof I abused her, that everyone's gonna know what I'm really like. I tell her to calm down and just talk to me like a normal person, but she's not hearing it. She tries to shove past me to get inside, so I block the door. She pushes my arm. I step back. She goes for the handle anyway. I say, you need to leave. She throws her phone at the ground, starts crying, then screaming, then crying again, all in 30 seconds. Security comes out, asks what's going on. She starts yelling at them too, says I'm her ex and I trapped her in a lease, that I owe her money. I tell security, look, we broke up, she's mad about rent, that's all it is. They ask her to leave. She refuses, tries to push past them. She slaps one of the guards when he grabs her arm, and that's it. They call for backup. Everyone's watching now. People out with their phones, of course, but nobody's helping. I'm just standing there, sandwich forgotten, while she's screaming about how I'm the reason she can't pay bills, can't get another place, can't get a job. Security finally gets her away from the door, but she's still yelling at me, says I made her look weak, that I embarrassed her in front of everyone, and I'm the real problem. I just keep saying, you gotta go. I'm not doing this, you gotta go. They finally get her back to her car, and she slams the door so hard it echoes. Just sits there for a minute, head on the wheel. I almost walk over, but I stop myself. I just go back inside. I see a couple people I know. They're just awkward. Don't say anything. Later, I check my phone. See a message from Phyllis. What happened with Rebecca? I don't even reply. Later that night, I get a call from the landlord. He says Rebecca's officially out. She missed the rent deadline. They're changing the locks and she's on the hook for everything left unpaid. He asks if I have a forwarding address for her. I say nope. I guess there's not some wise ending where I learn to be a better person or whatever. I just stopped letting someone treat me like garbage. If she wanted to make me out to be the villain, fine. I didn't care anymore. By the next day, I got a string of texts from random numbers. Some threats, some begging, some just weird, but I ignored them all. My dad asked if I was all right. I said, yeah, I'm good. Honestly, I don't feel bad. She played games. She lost. People like her never really learn. They just find a new person to blame. I heard from Julian. She's trying to crash on Danielle's couch, but Danielle's not answering her calls anymore. I'm not saying I'm proud of every single thing I did, but I don't regret any of it. I gave her more chances than she deserved, and when she showed me who she was, I finally believed it. You don't get to treat people like trash and then cry when they walk away and take everything with them. That's real life, not some sad story you tell your friends to make yourself look better. So yeah, if you've ever let someone walk all over you and then they freak out when you stop helping, just know you're not alone. Sometimes the only way to win is to walk away and watch them self-destruct. I'm out.